Hi, this is English 9A, Credit 2, Lesson 2. This is where we're going to read the anchor text. So if you scroll to the next page, you'll read one of the most influential speeches in American history. Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania in 1863 to dedicate the National Cemetery. You will read the speech twice. First, demonstrate your understanding by annotating in the text. Instructions for annotating are provided below. The first paragraph is done for you. So this is 20 points of your packet. It's so important that you do this. This is such an easy 20 points to take notes. This is a guideline. This is in every packet. So if you didn't do so well in that portion last packet, try to take annotations this packet, and this kind of is a guideline of how-tos. The first paragraph is done for you in the text, so it gives you kind of an idea of what you should be doing and what your teacher is going to be looking for. So, the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln. As you read, pay attention to how Lincoln's speech emphasizes the importance of ending the Civil War and reuniting the country. So I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. Again, make sure you're taking your annotations on the sides. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we were highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Okay, so hopefully you took your notes. We're going to read this speech a second time in the left column, and each paragraph has been separated. You're going to paraphrase. So remember, paraphrase is putting it in your own words. It should be the same length as the passage that you're paraphrasing, okay? It can be thought as a clarification or translation of the complex or difficult passage. Use your own words to write the precise restatement of this passage. At the bottom of this page, I'm going to give you guys a resource. If you get stuck at all, it's called Flawless Walrus. And sometimes you can, if you're stuck, you can go back to that resource to kind of help you paraphrase. Okay, so I will help you with the first portion. So 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. So 77 years ago actually means 87 years ago. 87 years ago, you can put the founding fathers, created a brand new country entry here based on the idea that everyone is equal. Okay, so I took that sentence and put it in my own words, but it's just a translation of what he is saying. So you're going to do that for the next 2 paragraphs. Remember, it needs to be the same length. It's not a summary where you're shortening it and giving main ideas. My suggestion would be go by sentence, or to help you paraphrase each sentence and put it in your own words. Okay, and use that resource at the bottom if you need help. When you are done with this, you can move on to the next portion. So at this point, you have read the speech twice, and so you're in the spaces below. For number 1, you're going to list 3 of Lincoln's key points. Okay, and so those are the 3 bullets. Make sure you're using complete sentences. For number 2, what is Lincoln's purpose for writing and delivering the Gettysburg Address? That was mentioned in the last lesson. If you need to go back and see, or just go back through your packet and see what Lincoln's purpose was. And then number 3, what reasons or evidence does Lincoln provide to support his argument? So what reasons? So go back, you need evidence. So pull out a quote from the speech to help you in showing that what his purpose of his argument was. And then number 4, what is Lincoln's call to action? What does he hope to persuade others to do? And so at the end of the speech, he does, give a call to action and asking people to, do something. So you need to go back into the speech and see exactly what he wanted from the audience and from the people. And then number 5, how does Lincoln's address relate to the theme, finding common ground? You may review your credit opener activity if you need to. And so, they're standing somewhere and where a lot of people died during a war, and they were all obviously on different sides. But now that it's over and they are, coming together for him to recognize this monument, this grave site. And so how is he connecting the people? So he's asking that both sides come together and not let these men die for nothing, basically. So go back and see how he connects parts of his speech to finding common ground.